baseball. I mean, that it's the only one thing that we've been hearing since Brendan McCullum took over England. I think since England came to India, I think we've had a different uh, perspective of how the baseball can be countered. So yeah, here we are, just a couple of friends going through quarter life crisis, and the one thing that is common between most of our school friends is cricket. So we just start. Why not get started talking about cricket on a more professional platform? Because this is what we just do after our work hours. Just sit for like 3 4 hours over a beer and just talk about cricket. Coming to the England tour of India, we have seen a lot. Baseball being countered by jazzball disrespecting the goat
Is it
Anderson.
just jazz ball? So, no, that's a nice name that you came up with. But I was thinking, what do we call it? Do we call it wall ball? Rahul?
Disclaimer again, it was not the name I gave, but yeah, it's been
Yeah,
around a lot of places just because of the way Jaiswal has been playing. But again, like you said, it's just not been Jaiswal, it's been everyone else, be it
yeah.
Sarfaraz Khan or Jurel, just
Or
stamping their
Pant,
authority against England.
the yeah,
Yeah.
the
A
OG
lot of
Pant who
pokey
is
things.
obviously missing this time, but yeah,
Yeah, and let's not forget the stump mic conversations, which made the series even more interesting.
yes,
So yeah, maybe first let's start off. Uh, you know, see, let's just start off judging. Not really judging, just see how each of the players performed in the series. Again, we're not any cricket experts, but yeah, we do have the right to have our own opinion on how things go about because we ourselves have been scorers of our cricket team. But yeah, we've always sat outside and judged how our players played on the field. We thought
yes.
maybe why not? Let's just do it for the Indian team as well and even the England team. So yeah, let's just start going one player at a time. Maybe let's start from the back. I mean, from the end, from Akash Deep. So yeah,
You want to start
Suhas,
from Akash Deep?
yeah,
Okay, yep. So I think we've had 32 different players take the field over the last 1.5 months for both England and India. And what we are going to do is take those 32 guys, put them in 5 tiers that we have here, right? Depending on their performance, from basically Bradman-esque or Vaughan-esque performance down till Stuart Binney or Stuart Binney levels of performance. Yes, let's start with Akashdeep. And first off, this is only going to be based on their performance in the Test series. Please, I know that you see he's wearing an RCB jersey here. So Vinny, I hope your opinion is not
yeah.
tainted by seeing the RCB jersey there, right? Yeah, I don't want to put him at the top level just because he's an RCB.
Yeah, I mean, it just like you said, it's only based on the current test series that concluded yesterday. So yeah, I mean, let's not talk about their IPL contributions, but eventually, I will try to slip in a few, stats about their IPL career as well. But yeah,
Okay, yes, let's start with Akash Deep. Again, played only one test, didn't have a lot to do. I mean, he did well actually the first innings. But yeah, I mean, the way the whole series has generally been dominated by the spinners, uh, yeah, maybe I don't think he goes in the top categories, right? But what do you think?
I mean, like you said, it's just been one test, but yeah, the one really solid thing that caught my eye is the pace at which he's bowling on these flat tracks. And apart from
Yes.
that, for some reason, I find a lot of similarity between him, Mukesh, and Shami.
So what do you think? Yeah, let's. Do you think solid contributors? I mean,
Yeah,
he
probably
he
yes.
did what he could from the opportunity that he got.
Yeah, yeah,
Right? Okay,
yes,
nice. It's a good start. I think there's some unanimous agreement.
yeah,
I don't think that will continue. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of arguments coming up.
yeah.
But let's go to the next guy, KL Rahul. Yeah, again, someone we've watched for a long time, locally and obviously for the national team as well. What do you think about? Again, he missed a lot of the series due to his injuries. But what do you think? Where do you think? What is your opinion of his
But
performance?
yeah, just pardon my memory. I can't really recall. Did he play the first test? I mean, the first two tests or just
Yes,
the first one?
I I think he just played the first one.
Maybe we can just check once. Uh,
Yes.
because I can just recall the players played in the last two games, and it
Hmm.
just feels like forever since they played the first
Oh
test,
yes.
considering the gap. And also, the one interesting fact about the series and why it was so interesting, if you see the last couple of series, right, they were just two match test series, be it India versus
Hmm.
Bangladesh, no, India versus
Yes.
West Indies, and then India versus South Africa. So yeah, I mean, this just felt like it was an entire season altogether. But I just
And
checked
I
the
think, I mean, credit to baseball, right? Like it's they might have lost 4-1, but the series was definitely interesting. It was more interesting. I think the last series that England played in India, I think that also they lost 4-1, but it was not as interesting as this because England did have more moments in the fourth test, in the second test where they could have maybe dominated, and if things had gone right, they could have won those as well. So I mean, credit to baseball. They might have lost, but for sure they've made Test cricket a lot more entertaining. Uh, yeah,
completely
but
agree with
going
you.
back, yeah, KL Rahul. I just checked the stats. KL played only the first test. I think he had an 80
Yeah,
something that he
86
got
mark. Yep.
in one of the innings. But yeah. So what do
Again,
you think?
it's
What is your thoughts?
just considering just this series again, as if you consider the context of the first match, maybe it was just. I think it was we were batting the second innings and we got a big total as well. So he was a
Hmm.
solid contributor in that probably innings. So yeah,
But
but the
one
thing is,
point
he
though,
didn't.
yeah,
Being an experienced player, he really didn't step up while we were chasing the target.
yeah.
So I would, considering his experience and what we expect out of him, maybe I would just put him under May.
That I think that makes sense. I think the other point I was going to bring up is his injury status, right? Like
Yep.
how again it has to bring down him probably by a notch because of that as well. Just simply because he's not been able. I mean, this was a golden opportunity to solidify his spot in the middle order. There was no Virat.
Yep.
uh, yeah, this was a big opportunity for him, but yeah, his body is it's caused issues. It's been causing for the last few years. Hopefully, he can turn it around in terms of injuries. But yeah, I think May seems like a fair result here.
Hopefully he comes back stronger too. I mean, it was a similar situation before the World Cup, 50 over World Cup. Sorry to remind you about that, but yeah, and he did come back really strong into the series. I know it still hurts.
Another RCB player, right?
Uh,
Oh, the third one was played for RCB three in a row. Siraj, what do you think about his performance this series?
I think except for one innings where he looked really solid and I think he played
Hmm.
a really crucial role in that series. I mean, that particular innings. Apart from
Yeah.
that, he's just been like a proper supporting role to Bumrah, and maybe
Hmm.
that's also because of the pitches which not being favorable to him, and right, and especially after what he did in South Africa and getting them all out for 55 with that brilliant spell. I had some expectations on it. I was looking forward to how to see how he would do on Indian pitches. But yeah, I can't really blame him. I mean, the way he bowls and what the kind of bowler he is. But yeah, I think he's big. He has solidified his place in the playing 11, right? Up with Bumrah, irrespective of the, you know, uh, wherever
Yeah,
you
yeah,
play, irrespective of the
yeah.
series, he's always there in the team. So that's always been good. I He hasn't had bad performances. Not like he got whacked for like a lot of runs as well.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean the wickets maybe won't really reflect what he has done. Even I can't really recall except for that innings how he's
Yes,
performed in the
yeah.
series. But yeah, maybe I'll just put him under the solid contributor part bracket because he hasn't had a bad performance. Going only just by that, I would just put him under that band of solid contributor. So.
Yeah, I think this is a tricky one. I was thinking more towards May. because again average is in the 40s, which is not great. But then again, as you said, he didn't bowl that much either,
Yeah,
right? Especially in the second innings, it was more about giving more overs to the spinners. He was almost there, as you said, supporting role to take the shine off the ball, right? So I think the task that was given to him, he did pretty well. So fair enough. I think we can keep him at the bottom of solid contributors for now, right? And then once we see how the list turns up, we can always move it around,
yeah, and
right? But
also the
yeah,
fact that how well Bumrah, utilized
yes,
that old ball, with the reverse
yeah.
swing and such. Siraj wasn't that effective, I think, in that particular innings, right? It was just
So do you want to
Bumrah.
go May?
Not really. Again, it also depends on the type of bowler you are and their skill set. But
Hmm.
again, he, again,
Okay.
I'm just going by my opinion that he hasn't had a bad performance, not a
Hmm.
really good performance, but he's just been there and yeah. So I think I'll just put him under solid contributor. So yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Right,
Okay, now
let's move on to the next guy. We have Aksar, who I think is one of the most unlucky players, just because he's in the same generation as Jadeja, who's the exact same player as him, but just a little bit better in all three aspects of the game. Yeah, played I think two tests this series. What do you think, Vini? Where do you think he should go?
I think I mean, considering the number of matches he played as well, and considering his
Mm.
experience, and I don't think he was used as much as Jadeja too by Rohit in those couple of
Mm.
matches, but still, he wasn't that great.
Yes.
Not again, you can't expect everyone to have a match-winning performance, but yeah, for his standards, considering
Yes.
how he played in India the last year, with the number of runs he got and the wickets he got, I think I'll
Mhm.
just put him under May. Yeah, I think you
Yep,
already put it.
May
So yeah,
sounds good. Yeah, and I think below KL also because KL did have a 80 there. So yeah, makes sense. Again, yeah, Aksar is not the standards we expected, but again, he's a solid player. Uh, but yeah, let's move on.
yep.
The pacer, the fastest bowler I think that played in the series, Mark Wood. And by the way, one additional stat, he also had the highest strike rate of anyone. He averaged less than 10, but his
Oh,
strike rate was 90 96, I think. So yeah, I think men a couple of innings he just came in, swung his bat, it connected. So yeah, but anyway, let's
I
go
think you
to
should have mentioned his batting strike rate. I was like, okay, you were talking about his bowling strike rate, and then you said, okay, below 1096. I was like, but yeah, known he's
yeah.
really known for his that. Okay, again, going by the baseball or whatever, their fearless batting, just come and whack left, right, center. So yeah,
Yes.
where would I put Mark Wood? Except I think he just didn't play one test. The rest all he played.
He played three.
He played three.
Yeah.
I mean, the entire short ball tactics of England were just, effective only if Markwood was bowling, but still, it wasn't that
Yeah.
really effective. Uh,
He averaged 70, I think more than 70 with the ball.
oh,
Uh, yeah, so definitely, I think the short ball also leaks runs, right? And especially if you're bowling to people like, I don't know if you saw the six today that Rohit hit.
Sarfaraz. Oh, Rohit
No,
was
the
it?
one that Rohit hit as well. Uh, I think yesterday. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I think they had a plan with Wood, but the plan also made him a lot more expensive. But what do you think?
And yeah, again, he was also not used much by Stokes. So I think yeah, he wasn't really a bad perform. Maybe I'll just put him under May.
Yeah, yeah. I don't
Yeah,
think he did enough to warrant a solid, to go in the solid tier.
yeah,
So Meh seems about right. Yep. Let's go to the next one. The big one here. The
yeah.
captain, the best batsman that India has seen since Tendulkar. And
Debatable, but
yeah.
yeah, let's not get into it. Anyway,
Yes, but and just one disclaimer: batting, fielding, bowling. These are obvious aspects that we all consider. but captaincy is also a big part in terms of judging a player's performance, right? So just saying that, and yeah, go on. What do you think about Rohit's performance?
I mean, I would have really, rated him as the best or best captain if we had whitewashed the series, considering, I mean, how good we were in the second half of the series, right? With all the
Mm.
jazz ball hype coming up and how India would counter it. Yes, we did really well, but I think that was what was expected out of us, right? I mean, it would have stood out if we had whitewashed or trashed England like we did in the last test across all the matches. But again, it was an even context. But yes, test cricket, it is good for test cricket. What
Yes.
happened was really good for test cricket. But yeah, I mean, if you really want him to be considered as the greatest test captain or whatever, honestly,
I
from
said,
my
by the way,
opinion,
sorry, greatest test batsman. No, not test. I mean, greatest
okay.
batsman in
Anyway, but
general
yeah,
since
coming to
then.
captaincy, I mean, yes, there were a couple of instances where I was a little annoyed of him not being very proactive. I mean, we have had
Hmm.
fights over that too, but yeah, I think later on maybe I was too quick to judge. But yeah, the field placements or the tactics he had in players for certain players were just amazing. Yeah, I
And two
think
centuries to go with that as well.
yeah, I mean, yeah, crucial ones.
Yes.
Well, I mean, his test record wasn't that great coming to this series. He was also struggling a bit with his batting. I mean, after his amazing contribution in the World Cup, again, he's played a really selfless role in this series as well. So yeah, I wouldn't put him under second coming of Bradman, but yeah, maybe under
Yes.
Sultans of Swing.
Yes, and for everyone, Sultans of Swing, it's for the bowlers as well. Swing in terms of for the bowlers, but also the bat swing, right? So that's why we are this tier is not just for bowlers. And I mean, Rohit's bat swing is among the best when he plays that pull and the entire follow through that happens. It's just a beauty to watch. But fair enough, I think Rohit had a very good. I mean, a good series. I think batting wise, maybe a couple more innings where he should have got going. He did not. But yeah, I think Sultan's swing is a if it's a fair assessment.
And also, he made it
Let's
really
go.
interesting with these comments behind the stumps and
Oh
yeah.
yes. Oh yeah. Entertainment value. I think he's up there.
Yeah.
He's number one. Yep. Now. Oh, okay. So we finished the captain of India. Now the next person is the captain of England, Ben Stokes. Again, one of the most enigmatic players in world cricket over the last few years, right? In terms of the kind of moments he's made for the big moments, right?
I would
Maybe not
consider
in
him
this
the
series
callous of
much.
this generation, honestly. Uh,
Okay.
I
Okay,
mean,
hmm, I
of
don't
this,
think
I
he's
mean,
as consistent as Callis in terms of Callis. I think batting average is above 50.
yeah.
Wickets is far more. Stokes, I think, with this bowling, his body doesn't allow him to bowl as much. I can see where you're coming from,
I mean, it's just that
but
impact he has on the field, right? The presence,
impact for sure.
very
Yeah,
similar to what Callis had on the field, right? It's just the
yeah.
presence of such an enigmatic all rounder. But yeah, I
Hmm.
mean, let's just the performance again, batting, it's been terrible.
It's been,
Not
yeah.
even remotely close to his what we were expecting out of him. Considering
Yes.
he does play spin really well, but I know he just wasn't that great this season. Captaincy
And he
wise,
was the one guy, sorry to cut you off there, but he was the one person in that team that for some reason was not willing to play baseball. Right? Like he made everyone attack and sacrifice wickets, but he wasn't he played a more traditional way and it didn't work either. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I mean, captaincy wise, I would give him like I think 7 out of 10 because without those certain tactics, I don't want to go into the nitty gritty of those, but yeah, the fact that the bottom line is the fact that the series came this close in all these
Hmm.
test matches and all these, and also the innings. If you look at the innings of each of these test matches, right, they were evenly balanced out. It was not like one sided. One innings was just England or whatever. In a day, maybe a couple of innings went to England, one to India, but yeah, in a particular day, the innings were balanced out, and how quickly
Yeah.
they were able to respond. So yeah, captaincy wise, I would give him maybe 7 out of 10. But yeah, just I mean, he's expected to, contribute with the bat, especially considering the number of, high pressure situations England were in, and
Yeah,
how
and also he played as
considering
a
how well
pure
he
batsman.
performs in a high pressure situation.
Yeah,
He was not at all close to what we were expecting him to be. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
maybe yes, putting him under second coming of Stuart Binney would be really disrespectful. But yeah,
No,
just
I think
with
it's
the
yeah.
uh, with just keeping this series in mind. Yeah, maybe.
And as you said, it's also the expectations we have of him. Like
Yep.
he has to be compared. The standards we have for him is, or as fans, all of us have for
Yep.
him, is higher than most others. And he did bowl well. I think
Yep. The
the
first ball
final
he
test.
bowled after I know years
Correct. Yeah, he
looking
got.
for it.
Yeah, I mean, he got it to shape away nicely and all of that. But yeah, he played as a pure batsman for most of the series. Just didn't have enough runs. But yeah, let's move on. Ollie Robinson didn't play a lot again, so that may be a tricky one to position here. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
what
think
do
he
you
just
think of
played a
Ollie
single
Robinson?
test, right? Just one
Yes,
test.
a single test. Yeah.
Uh, I mean, I was I was really surprised to see England playing him. I mean, all respect. I don't know if he's injured or whatever, but his pace was really, really low. I mean, he was bowling in the early 120s, around sometimes 119, 122, and Shumal Gill was like eating butter chicken on the crease and then finishing up a meal and then playing cover drives at his will to him. But yeah, bowling wise, he was not that great, but yeah, batting, he did score a crucial 50. I
He scored
remember.
a 50. He hit a 50.
Yes, he
Okay.
did in I think in the first innings, he did,
Oh
or did he?
yes, you're right. Yeah,
He did
yeah.
score a 50. So yeah, he did bring that solid uh, structure to their
Mm-hmm.
tail. But yeah, I think I'll just put him under second coming of Stuart Binney because yeah, hardly any impact.
He just didn't have enough to trouble us uh,
Yeah.
with his pace at all. Yeah, fair enough. And I mean, similar pace as Stuart Binney, so it makes sense. It's fair.
Very much.
And yes, now another player whose career was almost destroyed by RCB, and he's made a comeback
Again,
again.
very, it's debatable. You're getting into cold waters here. I don't want to.
Yeah. Future discussion, a future
I know.
discussion. But yeah, Sarfraz Khan, what do you the hope of Mumbai? What do you think?
Before Sky became Sky,
Mm.
before that, how we used to. Okay, cut whatever I said. But anyway,
No, no,
before
no. Yeah, go.
Sky became to be known as what he is, I think the one batsman I used to always look forward to, seeing bat was Sarfaraz. It just the way he plays and that those calculated wrist shots
The
and just
scoops.
amazing. I think I watched that entire the semifinals and finals of the under 19 uh, World Cups he played. I mean he played two. I can't
He
remember
played
which
too.
he played, but yeah. And that short stint he had with RCB was again amazing. So yeah, it was you know it was bound to happen, and credit to the selectors and Rohit for keeping the trust in him and recognizing his uh, you know domestic toil he had to put in. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
just it just looked like he was born for this. Even when he was like 15, 16, the clarity
yeah,
with which he played, and just amazing for a W series. And I think I'll just uh, I don't mind putting him under. Maybe it would be too soon to put him under second coming of Bradman. It
yeah,
is way too soon. Let's see how consistently he performs. Again, we have a couple of again home tours after I think the T20 World Cup. So let's see how he goes. Again, the real test is how they play. Overseas. So yeah, right now, based on the performance in the series, again I'll just put him right next to Rohit.
for sure.
And
Yeah, I
also
think
his
350 is
not slip fielding. The where was he placed that
silly
gully?
point and short
Silly
leg.
point.
Yes.
Yeah, silly
Yeah.
point in short leg. Yep.
He's good at that, and yeah, 350s, and I mean he was just toying with the bullets, and yeah, I think it's he's 26 now, and it's crazy. We've heard of him and watched him for so long. Yeah, moving on. The biggest controversy of this series, right at the start with all the visa issues, Rehan
Yeah.
Ahmed, young guy, but again didn't do a lot, not as much as Shoaib at least. So I'm thinking probably meh. What do you think? Or do you think this
I'll
will?
also definitely put him under. No, I think May is also a little. Maybe I'll put him under second coming of Stuart Binney. Or
Oh,
wait,
okay.
or if you consider circumstances, be it Shoaib Basir or Rayan Ahmed, with England not grooming a lot of spinners, yeah, which is understandable, but yeah, he was really poor with his lens in the first
That
test,
is
and
true.
I just felt like I could have, even I could have gone and faced him, but yeah. But yeah, due
Okay.
credit to his batting. He batted really well, and there's something with all these English batsmen, man. Like they just come up, and everybody
Yeah,
has
all
solid
of them can
technique.
somehow bat.
Yeah, all of them have really good techniques, and they
Yeah.
look so good to the eye, and not like our Indian tailenders. But our tail do score, but they're not that pleasing to the eye. The shots they play, and I was rolling on the floor with the cover drive Bumrah played yesterday. But yeah, again, they do score runs. All rest, I mean, credit to them. But yeah, Rihan Ahmed, still a long way to go. I think it was his first series in good exposure. But yeah, it's always tricky for a wrist spinner, especially
Yes.
in test matches. When you're directly compared to one. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I think he could be put under the Stuart Binney category, but yeah, I mean, young guy. Let's give him a little leeway.
I mean, at least for his
And
batting, he was good with his batting. So yeah.
exactly, yeah, yeah, yeah. And now next going to one of the Fab Four, Joe Root. What do you think about the great Joe Root? How did he
I
do
mean,
in this series?
having 10,000, does he? Yeah, he does have 10,000 runs. Having ten
Yes,
thousand
I think
runs
11,000. Yeah.
and being known for, he's known for being a really good player of spin. I've seen a couple of his YouTube videos where he teaches how to play sweeps, reverse sweeps, and play against spin. Uh, it has been a poor series considering his standards, except for that one
Yes.
uh, century in between, and just how Bumrah,
And the 80.
yeah,
I
and the
know losing cause, but yeah,
yeah, and just the way Bumrah owed him throughout the series was
yeah.
quite disappointing to watch, but at the same time, I was happy as an Indian fan. But yeah, for his standards, he would have also definitely, expected a lot more. At least a minimum of 400 runs is what they would have expected out of him in the series. But again, it just felt like it was very tentative whether to play the jazz ball or just play his all the way
Baseball.
he sorry, yeah, bass ball or the way he normally plays. But yeah, I think with respect to just this series, I'll just put him under second coming of Stuart Binney. I know
Oh
it's
wow.
really
Okay.
harsh, but Joe Root, man, he's part of the Fab Four. Like,
Oh wow. That okay. Now
I mean, if I can, we've put Stokes under second coming of Stuart Binney because of his Pro Bowl. I
but
know
I think
Joru
no.
did
I see.
score a
Mhm.
couple of one century, but it's Joru. You expect him to score centuries every match.
Nah, no. I again he's fallen well short of expectations for sure. Uh, and I think the 80 again was England was nowhere, you know, in a place to win or draw or do anything with the last test. So that 80, not as valuable. And he did fail at more crucial points where his contribution could have actually changed the outcome of the game. So I see your point, but then again, I'm thinking he had a century. He's taken those
Yeah,
catches, and yeah,
valid.
it, yeah,
Maybe you can put him under May.
probably yeah. Again, it's yeah. His standards are so high that a series like this is still considered terrible for him.
Maybe I'll just
But
put him. Yeah, we can put him before Rahul, I think. Yeah.
before Rahul, as in on
Yeah.
above Rahul, after Rahul,
Yeah, above Rahul. Yeah.
above Rahul. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I think we can go there. And I think the first few tests, I think he was just confused as to yeah,
So
like the reverse scoop that he tried to play against Bumrah and got out at Sliva. Like, yeah, Joe Root didn't have to do all of that. Back to RCB again, and another debutant, Rajat Patidar. And before Vini shares his opinion, I'll just put it across. He has to be here, bottom of the tier list. But yeah, Vini, go share your thoughts now.
it really pains me to say that I agree with you, but unfortunately, yes. Not the series we would have expected out of him. I think everyone knows how good a player he is, especially his record in the domestic games, and he's one of those who I always tune in to watch when he's batting. It's just
Hmm.
so good to watch him bat. The strokes he plays, just amazing. But yeah, again, uh, the first couple of dismissals were again very unfortunate, but the remaining dismissals are completely on him. So yeah,
Yeah,
hopefully, I'm not sure uh, if the management would keep that trust in him and get him back on the remaining home series we have later on, considering all most of the players would be back. Kohli, Rahul or Shreyas
yeah,
Iyer. The one
yeah.
opportunity he
One,
had, uh, he terribly missed it, and then he's already 30 now. So
yeah.
let's hope maybe hopefully yeah
I mean,
maybe
particular his replacement came and did well. So yeah, it's difficult to see him play for India again.
yeah.
Which is, yeah, it's a little sad, but yeah, it is what it is. Yeah.
So
Okay, let's now go to Ollie Pope, who started off the series brilliantly. One of the best knocks by an overseas batsman that I've seen on Indian soil, almost a double hundred, and then just failed. The next nine innings, he was a walking wicket.
let me remind
So
you, do you remember the first innings he played? How unsettled he was on this crease.
mm,
And that's
true,
later on he scored the double hundred, and everybody were like heaping praises of him, saying this is how England should bat in India, all of that. And we were like, oh, good. Let's see how he goes on the series. And as you said, it was just
yeah.
a gradual fall from there, but not a gradual fall. It was a steep fall, in fact.
Yeah, yeah. Then again, the only match England won, he was the main reason, right? So, but that has to count for something as well. So what do you think? Solid contributions, meh. Where do
No,
you think?
not. I wouldn't put him on a solid contribution. Definitely,
Hmm.
probably
About Joe Root?
between Joe Root and Rahul.
Really,
Because Root, you consider he also contributed with the ball. I mean,
oh, that
sorry,
is true. Oh yes,
he did take
yeah.
a lot of crucial wickets. Uh,
Hmm.
I think yeah. Now I'm reconsidering. Maybe we can move Joe Root to solid contributor, considering the
Yeah, I
number
think
of
we completely
overs he
forgot about
bowled.
his bowling contributions.
The number of overs he bowled for England. He was
Yes.
literally the frontline spinner in a couple of innings. So
Yes,
I
and
think you
especially when I
move.
think Shoaib and Hartley were, the first
Yeah,
one or two innings, they were not at their best, and that time Root was very important. While these guys, got a feel of the Indian conditions, and also for sure, yeah, I think that makes sense. We can probably move Root up
and then maybe
and
you can put yeah.
Pope here.
Yeah, because even Rahul just contributed in the first innings and first test, and even Pope scored better than more than Rahul. So yeah,
Yeah, and then just a stat for you. Pope scored 315 runs in 10 innings this series.
oh,
196 of those came in one innings, and
yeah.
the rest nine he scored 119. Okay, next another person who's wearing the RCB jersey. A lot of RCB connections here. Uh, Padikkal, again, someone that we've wanted or we've been hoping to see him play for India for a while now.
I mean, if you look at this, the these current generation of cricket players, especially those who are in their 20s and like early 20s, right? 20 and 24, Padikal, Jaiswal, Ishan Kishan. It just, I still don't get how these guys are making such, playing such bold shots in their debut innings. You look at all of them, be it their ODIs or whatever, they're just going and playing so freely, man. I think, yeah, a lot of credit goes to IPL, but I mean, I know
Yes.
there's a outlier there, which is Rajat Patidar, and he is not in his early 20s, but yeah, I'm just talking about these youngsters who've come and just playing with
Yeah.
such, they're just playing there. It looks like they belong, in the
I
national.
think, yeah, Padikal, I think the first 30 runs, he got seven boundaries.
Yep.
Right? Like 28 of those 30 were boundaries. A couple of them edges, but then he got into his groove. Didn't get a century, sadly, but was a very well made 63, 65, something like that. Yeah, so where do you think? I think solid contributors, but
Yeah,
what do you think?
I know. It just he played only one innings out of
One
10,
innings. Yeah.
but yeah, he did score crucial runs. Considering we lost three wickets quickly, and
Mhm.
then someone had to hold, and he didn't look to defend. He did attack them at that point. So yeah, I think I'll put him under solid contributors.
My only complaint is that the BCCI should have released him after the fourth test or during the fourth test so that he could play for the Ranji team,
Hmm.
and we could have Karnataka could have won that game. But anyway, it's fine. He ended up playing the fifth test. He
Yeah,
did well, so it's okay.
was he in for
Um,
Patidar because he was injured, or was Patidar
Yes, I
dropped?
think Patidar was. I think he was injured in the warm up, and nothing. I don't think it's a major injury, but there's some niggle that he had, and particular to come in.
Or it was just a facade, and not
Could
put it
be.
out there
Could
saying
be.
they're dropping him. But anyway,
Fair enough. Yeah, that is a possibility. Yep. Now Mukesh Kumar again. Before the performance, just one thing. Absolutely love watching him play. Just such a like beyond the cricket reasons, just the smile that he always plays with, and his the way he carries himself is just amazing to watch. Lot of connect already with the fans and all of that. Yeah, and yeah, now coming to his performance, what do you think?
I would put him under May because
Hmm.
I know
Yeah.
that one test match he played, he really didn't have the impact he had what we were expecting him to have. But yeah, I think that entire test match was all about Bumrah and his Yorkers, or
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, I think when Bumrah is doing his thing, you
yeah,
just step aside and you're like, you continue. But yeah, fair. I think this is fair. I think one innings, not a lot of overs. Now let's go to Jack Leach, who England consider to be their coming
frontline
of
spinner,
game
but
one. Yeah. The greatest spinner that they've ever had is what they consider him to be, but definitely not going in this category. Yeah, but again, unfortunate injury. I think the series could have been a little more. It would have been even more closer if he was there with his experience, and he brought in the left arm, different angles, different type of spin as well, and then that doggedness when he bats, right? He
yeah.
stays at the crease for a long time and all of that. So it could have been definitely a big miss for England. But what do you think? Again, not a lot of data to place him, but what do you think?
Yeah, I think he also didn't sort of contribute much, I believe, in the first test. I can't really recall how many wickets he took.
He okay. Let me look at the stats. He bowled 36 overs, took a couple of wickets. Yeah,
Yeah, so no, I think I'll just
and
put
30,
him on the
sorry,
second.
just one thing is 36 overs after. I think within the first few overs he had the knee injury, right? And then
Oh,
he didn't bowl for a while, but then he came back and then bowled 20 overs or so after the injury. So fair play in terms of the courage and the bravery. But yeah, go on.
yeah, I mean, I think both of us know where we would place him. It would be second coming of Stuart Binney, unfortunately. But yeah, would have liked to see more of him. But yeah,
Next up is Sir Ravindra Jadeja. one of the goats of Indian cricket.
I mean, the amount of things that Jadeja and Ashwin have contributed to India, especially in the home series, is like, I think, immense. It's just immense. I don't think I can ever name a duo who have been that, dominating in the subcontinent over the last 10, 15 years. So yeah, and the way he's improved his batting over the last 3, 4 years, man. And he's playing
Yeah,
as a solid number four, not number
yeah.
four, number five, I
Number
guess.
five.
Number
Yeah.
five, yeah. And he just, Rohit is, just floating him around whenever he feels he wants to have that left-right combination. And yeah, his batting has just been amazing. Like, no
Yep.
second
And
coming.
then I mean we haven't even spoken or mentioned his fielding, which I
Yeah.
think is
I mean,
his
that's
best
given.
asset.
Like, yeah, it's so Jadeja. And uh,
Yes.
for some reason, I always feel he's very underrated
Mm-hmm.
uh, for the amount of things he does and how good he is in all departments.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I wouldn't mind putting him in the top, the second coming of Bradman. I mean,
This
it's
series,
I
I
don't
mean, he
see
wasn't.
anyone being that good in all three departments.
But I don't think it was at the standards that we expected, right? I mean, uh, just looking at his stats here, he had, I think, that 100, which was, yeah,
That's
that's a good
really
knock, 100. But I think apart from the 100, he didn't have any major contribution with the bat, even though he was batting up the order. And with the ball, again, I think the wickets got distributed between Ashwin, Kuldeep, and
yeah,
Jadeja. So that is one thing. But I don't think it's you can say that he took
true, true, yeah.
the entire series by the scruff of its neck.
Yeah, I think
Right? He did
again
well,
went
but yeah,
into a shell thinking about his entire performance for India. But yeah, considering just this series, maybe yeah, makes sense.
yeah.
You can put him under Sultan's of swing. So
And again, his the expectations is also sky
yeah,
high because of his. I think he's made it so with his performances. Next, again, his another spinner, left armer, but one who spins the other way. Kuldeep Yadav, who's having this sort of second or second coming over the last few months, right? Absolutely revitalized his career again. Uh, yeah, thoughts on how he did this series.
yeah, I think being a wrist spinner, what he is doing in Test match and the way, like you said, second coming is just after that lean patch he had with KKR and with the Indian team, just amazing. And what amazed me more was his batting. I mean, we all knew he was really good at his batting, but yeah, he was really solid the few times he got an opportunity to bat. So yeah, I
Yeah.
would put him right next to maybe even before Jadeja, honestly. Uh, the way he bought wickets at those crucial times.
Not
Uh,
second coming, maybe not enough to go there. What do you think?
what do you think? I mean, honestly, I don't think so because, or yeah, it's a little dicey because I mean, like you said, the wickets were shared among the three of them. You're playing
Yes.
with a couple of two really good spinners. It's really hard to judge, but yeah, considering the fact how well he has improved over the last year or so.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, but I think it's also. I mean, he definitely was very good, but again, didn't play all tests. And I mean, the last test he did incredibly well, the fifth test. But yeah, probably a shade below the second coming of Bradman, the top tier that we have. But within the tier, what do you think? Do you think Sarfaraz, as good as he was, I think the bowling is what really won us, right? That's what has
yeah,
been winning us
I think you
matches.
can put him right next to Rohit.
Right next to Rohit, and what about Jadeja? Does he go above Sarfaraz? Does he not?
Uh, Tricky. I think I'll
Hmm.
put Sarfaraz before Jadeja because again, considering it was his debut series and
Fair
the
enough. Fair
conviction with
enough.
which he played. So
Yeah, we'll keep it as it is for now. Who's next? Next
Dhruv
we
Jurel.
have another debutant, Dhruv Jurel. son of an army veteran. So a lot of contributions to the nation from their family. Brilliant behind the wicket, brilliant with the bat too, and very good with DRS, right? So where I'm thinking again, Sultan's a swing. What do you think?
Um, Again, I feel it's too soon. I mean, I know it's not fair considering we put Sarfaraz and Sultans of Swing and not Jurel. I would put him under solid contribution. Just uh, you know that 45 we made in the first innings, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I know it was really valuable, but again, I'm going. I'm in the mindset that you should just score 50s and hundreds. Again, it's not practically possible. Uh,
But he did win us the game with the 90.
Yeah, he did. He did win
Yeah.
us the game, and he looked really composed in the
Mm.
crease. To have that sort of a maturity for a 23-year-old guy,
Yeah.
it's amazing. And yeah, and
And
I've
good
also seen.
replacement for Pant, right? I mean,
Yeah,
Bharat, who we are going to come to, maybe didn't fill Pant's boots. Ishan Kishan has his own problems, which are a separate discussion topic. So came into a very difficult spot as well. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Sultan's a swing, maybe a little too early. Maybe the top of solid contributors. What do you think?
could be. Yeah, I think now
Yeah.
I'm a little tentative because the fact that I've put Surfaraz, I'm also judging both of them on the same
Mm-hmm.
scale.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'll put him
You're right.
behind
I,
them.
I think Sarfaraz probably had something better with the bat, or probably very close. I don't think it's very similar. But then Jurel's keeping was amazing. I think one of the runouts that he did, right? I
So yeah,
think definitely,
again,
yeah.
Jurel with his bat
Let's
and
push him up. What
wicket
do you think?
keeping, I think
Yeah.
he would beat Sarfaraz. So
Hmm. About Sarfaraz?
yeah,
Okay, fair enough. I'm just looking at solid contributors. I think the order needs to change as well. Akashdeep again, only one test, so I don't think we can put him above Siraj or Root,
yeah,
right? What do you think?
yeah.
And
I think this is
maybe Padikkal for a 60 above as well. Fair?
mm, not really because Padikkal just played one innings.
Hmm.
So I think Akashdeep looks solid. Yeah, he also performed just in one innings, but uh, yeah,
Either way, what would choose? uh,
I think this
who
too.
do you like
Yeah,
more?
obviously Padikkal, but anyway, both are an RCB. I should rather say Akashdeep because he's currently in RCB,
He's
but anyway.
currently in RCB. And
Yeah.
now that you gave that reason, I think I'm going to keep him below particle because to counter your bias. Now the star of the series, by far the
Both
best
of us
player.
know there's only one person who's gonna go under second coming of Bradman.
Yes, I think from the start this tier was made for him. And yeah,
Yeah. I
the
mean,
legend of Yashasvi
initially
Jaiswal.
when we were planning to rate them out of 10, I wanted to
Hmm.
rate him 7. Why?
Hmm.
Ask me why.
Why? Don't tell me
Just,
Thala is seven.
just
All
because
of
of the disrespect he showed towards Anderson. Anderson is my favorite. It was not like rash shots or whatever. Like it looked really calculated to me.
Yep. It wasn't the mindless
Yeah.
baseball, style of play. And again, every 50 or most 50s, hundreds, even 200s, bringing it up with boundaries, with sixes. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just incredible to see. Very good with the defense as well, right? The the defense was amazing. His fours, sixes, all of that was amazing. He seems like the complete package and a left-handed option as well. Yeah, absolutely brilliant of this series, and yeah, it's very exciting to see where he goes on from here.
Yep. I just hope he doesn't go on the slippery slope as Prithvi Shaw
Yes.
did.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah. Again, Mumbai
we rooting
teammates.
for him.
So
But yeah, let's see.
yeah. And now I think the flavor has changed a little. A lot of RCB till now second in a row from Mumbai. Not Mumbai Indians, but at least the city of Mumbai.
Yeah.
Again, a very stylish player, probably one of the most stylish players we have right now, Shreyas Iyer. What again? A lot of controversies that has happened throughout this series, especially. Where do you think all that plays in terms of his ranking?
I think he also played just one test or first two tests. I'm not sure, and he hasn't
I think
had.
he played the first two tests.
Yeah, and he didn't even.
Yeah,
I don't think he scored a 50 either in either of
no, he
these.
didn't score a 50. I think
Yeah,
his
so I
highest
think.
was in the 30s, and yeah, so not
So I
not
mean,
no
considering
major innings of note.
considering his standards, and he's
Yeah,
known to play spin really good. That's what everybody says. Be the
yeah,
commentators and
yeah.
I just love the bat swing he has against when he plays against spinners. But yeah, keeping that aside, I think I'll just put him before uh, maybe between Stokes and Jack Leach.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Right, but so I think yes, based on his pure performance numbers, maybe. But again, just thinking about what has happened over the last 4 5 weeks, right? He again had golden opportunity to, there's no Virat. You can make that middle order spot, right? And when Virat comes back, maybe you go down to five. But he had that golden opportunity. He had a great World Cup. He should have carried on, but he failed in both the tests that he played. And after that, the whole controversy with the Ranji Trophy and then losing his
losing
central
his contract.
contract. Yeah, my probably in terms of that, the biggest in terms of who's lost the most. I think probably the biggest loser in terms of that this series. I'm just thinking because of that, does he go even below Patidar? What do you think?
I don't think anyone can go below Patidaar. I mean, it's again pains to say that, but
Hmm.
yeah, I think uh, maybe right before Patidar. So yeah,
Maybe, yeah, yeah. I mean, again, we hope that whatever the issues are, those get sorted out. And yeah, he may not play all three formats, but I think at least in ODIs for sure, he's already shown his value. So hoping for things to be right, and hopefully he's back in the reckoning
you
soon.
never know BCCI. Imagine he
Yeah.
just becomes a top scorer in IPL. He will be in the T20 squad. That's how. I mean, yeah, I don't want to. That's a
Our
topic for
T20
another day.
squad is
But yeah,
it's a completely different problem and a big problem. But yeah, we'll discuss that soon as the T20 World Cup comes closer.
yeah.
Now going to another left armor, tall guy, very obvious presence whenever he's bowling or whenever he's on the field. With Hartley, uh, yeah, thoughts?
I think I was really impressed by the way he came back after that dreadful
Yes,
first test. I mean, he obviously improved on his line and length, and his consistency after the first test was really good.
yeah.
And with the Batman, like I said again, these English players, I know how everybody plays so good. Who bats? I mean, how they bat so well. But yeah, where would I put him? I think I'll put him under solid contributors because after Jack Leach was dropped, I mean, after he was injured, I think Hadley
Mhm.
became the frontline spinners. Uh,
Yes, and he was the one. I think uh, India scored at a very high clip throughout the Test series, right? But Hartley, I think, if I'm not wrong, he has one of the better economy rates. So he was holding it out at one end, and he picked up a good number of wickets as well. I think the second highest number of wickets this series,
oh,
debut series. The first innings, as you said, was absolutely terrible, and the comeback. Wait, now that I'm thinking, just considering the comeback and debut, do you think we can put him under Sultans of Swing, or
no.
maybe not?
I think we could. I mean, I don't mind
Yeah, he did
putting
have more
him.
wickets than Jadeja
Actually, yeah,
and Kuldeep. Yeah,
yeah. I think you can put him between Kuldeep and Jurel. To be honest.
Kuldeep and
No,
Jurel. Okay, fair enough. I think yeah, an English spinner coming in.
yeah.
It's yeah. And as you said, I think you mentioned earlier when we were talking about Rehan, these guys won't get such opportunities in their home countries. So for him to come here and do this was still pretty good. I think I hope to see him a lot more. Next up is the Prince. The king was missing, but the Prince was there. And again, maybe he's sort of opened a fresh new chapter in his test career, which wasn't going great. Couple of hundreds, uh, first two tests not going so well. There were calls from some experts to drop him, and I was one of those who wanted him to be dropped. Not that I'm an expert, but then he proved everyone wrong. Two brilliant centuries, amazing knocks. I think he won us the game. He was there while chasing at the end. Uh, Thoughts?
Again, man, the way he made a comeback, especially those crucial knocks in the second innings. I think two
Mm.
consecutive important innings back to back in the
Yeah.
second innings. I think it was the third and the fourth test, yeah. And then again an 100 in the fifth test. I honestly, when I see the way he batted during the series, it just felt like he
Mhm.
was trying really hard, to mold himself into that number three position because he was really curbing his attactive instincts and he was just defending. If you see the first
Mm.
three tests, and he is turning out to be a really good number three batsman. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah, and I mean,
we
big
all know
shoes to fill.
yeah, man.
Pujara, now the coach is also the greatest number three that to played for India. So I'm sure Dravid is also sort of is guiding him through that spot, which is I think one of the most challenging spots, right?
Also,
But
considering
yeah,
what Gill is known for, I mean, his attacking ability in white ball, neither Pujara or Dravid didn't have that when they were playing. I
definitely,
mean, with
yeah.
all due respect, the attacking ability Gill has, and then just to mold himself into that, number three position, be defensive when necessary, and just amazing.
The difference between his and Rohit's performance is lesser than the difference between Gill
Yep.
and Jaiswal's performance, right? And again, not a
Yeah.
knock on Gill. Jaiswal was just he was at a different level. So how do you consider that? Do you take that into account as
I
well?
mean, yeah, I'm a huge fan of him, so that's why I said. But yeah, like I mean, if you speak of it practically, yeah, I think you can put him before uh,
Yeah.
Rohit.
Next, another wicket keeper. I didn't think he would play as much. I thought they would play. Bairstow played every game. I thought they'd play an extra batsman and not play Fox as much. But again, someone I really like watching behind the stumps in
Yep,
England, and he did very well
considered
in
to be
very different
one of
conditions.
the best keepers.
For sure, yeah.
Yep.
And I think he did better. Yeah, I mean, compared to the rest of the batting, he was not much worse than some other batters who are far more prominent, like Root and all of that. Obviously, Root then had the century as well. But again, taking into account his work behind the stumps, I was thinking solid contributors. Where do you think he goes?
I was initially thinking top of Meh
Okay,
because he used to get solid starts to
starts.
20
Yeah.
30s, but yeah, he never converted those into a good 50. But
Hmm.
again, uh, your whatever you said, right? There was no support for him. None of the other batsmen stood with him. He always used the 20 30 also he got was always with the tail. So yeah,
Hmm.
maybe yeah, you can put him in solid contributors.
Solid, maybe where
Before
about
root,
Karshdeep
before root. Oh no.
before Root. Okay. Do you think is I mean
I
Root
mean
had a
before
hundred.
Padikkal, yeah, before Padikkal.
Yeah, fair. I think yeah before yeah again Padikkal and Karshdeep one test each. Okay. Next is
Ben
Ben
Duckett.
Duckett. Yes, someone who thinks baseball should be given the credit for the way Jaiswal is playing. Who has I mean that's completely insane thoughts there. But had a decent series. Where would you put him?
Yeah, like you mentioned, I mean they Crawley and Duckett gave those starts to England.
Mm.
They
Yeah,
easily used to just get those 50-run stands in the beginning. So, uh, yeah. Okay, so where do
solid.
I put them? Yeah, solid contributors. That would be right.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah, and
even ahead of Joe Root, honestly, because
true
they
for
gave
sure.
them those starts. Yeah,
Yeah, and again he had 100. Maybe some innings he didn't do as well, but again he got those 20-30s at least at the top. Yeah, I think fair enough. Ben Duckett can go there. Again, if I was rating him for his opinions, then he would probably be Shiva Patidar. But yeah. Next, his opening partner. Uh, Again, someone very
the best.
very commanding
Yeah,
presence on the crease. Zach Crawley. Sorry, what were you saying?
their best batsman of the series,
100%,
no doubt.
hundred
Yeah,
percent. Yes, for sure. I think it has to go Sultan's swing. He had more than 400 runs
yeah. I think
uh,
you. I honestly think you can put him before Kuldeep.
before Kuldeep, above Kuldeep.
Yeah, I mean above. Yeah, Kuldeep.
Really, I mean, I see where you're coming from, but now I'm just looking at the list. Are we going very heavy on the batsmen at the top? The first four are batsmen, and
Hmm.
I'm just thinking because when you think about it,
It's
averages.
it's a very difficult thing in cricket to judge because then you can't quantify it. I mean, how do you equally
It's
that's not the right
difficult,
word.
but if you look at it, a lot of batsmen have scored below what is expected, especially the English guys,
Yeah.
right? So that means bowlers have probably done a little better. Next up, I think the best player in world cricket for the
Yes.
last since the last few years, the player that when I like, there's no other player that I want to watch more than him. He's playing, then the TV is always on. It's the his run up. It's just a feeling that very difficult to describe. We've not seen a lot of fast bowlers from India with this kind of effect and the fear that he creates with in even people like Root, who are some of the greatest players to have played the game. Yeah, where
I
does
honestly
Bumrah go?
consider myself lucky to watch that spell. I
Yes.
watched him bowl those Yorkers in this series, man. It was just so pleasing, and yeah, I was really happy I tuned in that morning and then watched it. And second thing, bro, the cover drive he played, amazing. I You have to just, yeah, I think you just put him right next to Jaiswal.
100%. And I was just looking at his stats. He averaged 17. The next, yeah, 17 in India as a fast bowler. I mean, those are like you just can't match those numbers there. And the closest pacer in this series, or the second best after him, was Anderson at 34. So he averaged half of the
Yeah.
next best pacer, and that's what Bumrah is. I mean, he's the biggest match winner that we have currently, and just a privilege to watch him.
What's the point? He'll get injured before the World Cup. But anyway, touch wood. That's the discussion for another day. But yeah.
I mean, yeah. Next, uh, Shrikar Bharat, one of the more unheralded players, and is not a star, unlike a lot of others in the list. Has been in and out in the team for a bit. Same again with this series, not really cemented. What do you think? Again, Dhruv Jurel has come in as well. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, he never looked confident in
Hmm.
all those innings he played, except one. I think he got a 45 or something. Uh,
Yeah.
Again, he was always batting with the tail. Unfortunately, all the innings he got the opportunity. But yeah,
Hmm.
he's been around for long. Uh, there are high expectations considering the people lined up to replace him
Hmm.
with a lot of pressure on his shoulders. Yet he hasn't delivered what was expected of him, is what I feel.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
yeah, I think you can just put him next to Shreyas and Patidar.
Oh wow. I like his keeping.
Keeping,
To be
yes,
frank,
but
yes, I see your point that he again, this was his opportunity to make a
yep,
case. and it didn't. Uh, but second coming, that's okay.
It's I don't see that on the cards, man. Come on, you have Punt lined up, you have Jurel coming up.
Now another, I think, debutant. Uh, I hadn't heard of him before.
Yep.
He played this series. I think he's only 19, and
Yeah.
just to make both of us feel a little old, he was born in 2003.
I mean, solid for a debutant to bowl
Hmm.
with such control, just amazing, man. Like, uh, I wouldn't mind putting him right next to right even before Crawley actually, considering it was his debut series and
I
how
think so.
the
Yeah.
number of impactful performances he's had in taking wickets in those crucial moments,
Hmm.
amazing.
Do you think he had a better series than Hartley?
Yes,
I mean, he did have
maybe
two fifers, uh, probably a
maybe
little
the
more wicket.
second half of the series, yes, not the first. He also played, I think, only the last three matches or the last four.
Yes, I think he played three matches, the last three, if I'm
Yeah,
not
the
wrong. Yeah.
last three. He also had some, I think, visa issues or something. He was also stuck in Dubai, I guess.
Wait, was it him or Rehan? Okay, I think I got
Both, I
confused.
guess.
Okay.
Shoaib didn't come for the first match because he was also stuck with some visa issues.
Right, right. That was sure. Yeah, yeah. That's why he didn't play the first game. You're right. You're right. You're right. Okay. So where do you think? I think Sultan's a swing for sure. About Zach Crowley. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
I think
because considering his
yeah,
debut series and yep.
for sure. Next, uh, someone who just finished his 100 test. And before we go to him, by the way, did you get a chance to see the? I think Joe Root handed him the cap,
Yep.
the 100th cap. Did you get a chance to
Yes.
watch that?
Yes, I did see the video clip.
Yes, very very emotional, very beautiful to watch.
And
Uh,
right after that, I also watched the banter between him and Gill. I don't know if that is true,
and
the
Gill.
stump mic banter.
Yeah, that as well. That as
Yeah.
well. I mean, he's got into a lot of fights. He's had his issues. Ashes when he stepped out of the crease, got run out.
Yeah.
He's had all of that problems. But again, the emotion of playing in the 100th test. Yeah, that I think that was one of it's such a beautiful moment. And yeah, a lot of starts again was try to score from the get go every game. No innings that was memorable. So
Yeah.
where do you think he goes?
Mm. Maybe I would put him under Meh
Fair
because, I
enough.
mean, Bairstow, again, huge expectations and one of the key players not
Hmm.
delivering. And yep.
Maybe
Maybe
above Wood.
no.
You think below Wood?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had those starts, but yeah, just didn't convert. And one or two of them, I think, if he had converted, they
Yeah.
could have won one of the tests in between. But fair enough. About Rehan,
Yes. Yeah.
okay. And next is another guy who also just hit the landmark of 100 tests in the same game.
And also
Again,
500
legend of the
wickets.
sport, absolute goat. Sorry,
And 500 wickets.
and 500 wickets. Joined Nathan Lyon as well, the two greatest spinners of this generation. Where do you think? I mean, it's a pleasure to watch. I mean, it's a joy that we're still getting to see Ashwin play, and
Yeah.
him using his brain, all the calculations, the angles that he brings in. Um, yeah,
Yeah. But in the
you know,
context of this series, bowling was what we expected him to do. Yeah. So that
yeah,
I know on that. But his batting was terrible this series.
yeah. Terrible. Fair.
Really?
Yeah, he
Did he?
didn't have a single
I
wicket.
don't think. What was his highest score? Do you have the stats?
He scored I think 37. 37 was his highest. His average was a little over 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. Disappointing by his
I mean, yeah,
standards.
you know Ashwin, we know he plays, at least in India, he does score some runs, but
Yeah,
yeah, it was not. I mean, again, if you purely judge him on his bowling, it's just Ashwin doing us. what Ashwin does. So
Highest wicket taker in the series.
yeah, not.
Missed a bit of the
I don't
game
think
as
he
well.
had a match winning. I mean, again, all these are I would put him on the top of solid contributors
Ooh.
because Ashwin did what Ashwin is supposed to do and not more than what we
Oh
expected him
wow.
to do or anything. If he got an
But
100, if he had gotten 100 or something, I would have definitely put him under Sultans of Swing. But no,
do you think he should go below? He had more wickets than Jadeja, than Bashir, than Hartley, than
Jadeja
Kuldeep.
scored
So,
runs.
fair enough. But Kuldeep also did well with the bat. But again, 26 wickets, averaged less than 25.
I
Do
mean,
you
see
think we're.
again,
Yeah.
it's what we expect Ashwin to do. Again, Kuldeep, see again, he's young and he's coming of age, and so. But yeah, maybe I don't know.
That's I okay. I think that's a little harsh. We'll go there for now. I would put him under Sultan's swing. I understand probably below Jadeja. Okay. I think there's multiple
That's the
conversations to be
same,
had.
but yes, you can.
No, I think Jadeja should be higher.
Yeah.
Uh, than but yeah. What do you think? Are you willing to budge here with Ashwin?
Okay.
Bottom of
Yeah, I think yeah.
that
I think the Sultans of Swing is overloaded, but anyway,
is true.
well,
We'll take a look at it.
let's
I
just
think we
back
have
it.
to.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Now the old man, the grandfather of the series, with 700 wickets. Again, just could not have imagined that a fast bowler would play for this long. Would take
He played all the 5 matches.
all. No, no, I don't think he didn't play the first match. I think the
Oh yeah,
first match
it was
only had
only
Mark
put
Wood.
them the remaining three spinners. Yeah, yeah, correct.
Yeah.
But
But yeah,
four
he played the
matches,
next four.
yeah,
Uh, yeah,
and also
and
back to back. He didn't take a break in
back to
between. That's
back.
what usually
Absolutely.
England do, right? They
Yeah.
rotate him with someone else.
Yeah, and he bowled a lot as well. Like maybe not a lot of wickets in that sense, but he did bowl a lot of overs. Uh, yeah, I
700.
the highlight was still probably, or the low light was the way Jaiswal played him. But again, 700 wickets, what incredible milestone. Uh,
But
Not
yeah,
his best
coming back
series,
to the
but
series, he had some amazing spells,
yeah.
especially when he was reverse swinging the ball. Like it was too good to watch.
Hmm.
But again, considering being an English seamer on a subcontinent track, did he do enough for his standards?
For his
I don't think.
standards.
I don't think he picked up any 5 wicket haul. Did he?
No, I don't think he did. Let me. Nope. His best was 3 for 47.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I would put him under solid contributors.
Here is the list. Any changes that you'd like? I think the Sultans of Swing is overloaded for sure. I think we'll
Yeah,
have to move
I
some of
think you
them down.
can pull Sarfaraz and Jurel.
Yeah. Jurel as well. He won the game. Okay.
I think this is
Who
fine.
else? Jadeja, Ashwin, Jadeja. He had 100.
Jadeja, yeah, wow, Ashwin.
Does Ashwin go a little bit again? But now thinking about your point, while he got 26 wickets, he was the highest wicket taker. He
His fielding
disappointed.
wasn't that great. Did you see his fielding?
Yeah, fielding. Yeah, and definitely with the bat as well, disappointed. Maybe we move him down. I see the point now. Yeah,
I think you can move back Jurel now.
Jurel.
It's like
Okay.
we're trying to even it out, but
Above Jadeja, below Jadeja.
he was above, yeah, above Jadeja. Yeah, anyway,
Okay. Okay, I think no, this is a
this is
fair list. Uh, and I think, do you think we've been harsh on anyone? What do you think?
probably Stokes. I don't think we gave enough credit for his captaincy.
Hmm. But then again, his
Probably,
batting, he didn't bowl.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean Stokes is just that guy I wanted at least one innings where
a
he
Stokes
got them to a win.
innings is what we know him for.
Exactly. Every
One
time they were in trouble, I was like, okay, I just want to watch one Stokes innings,
And
the
it was not
trademark.
that those situations weren't there. It was
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Yeah.
Multiple times it was
Yeah.
Stokes and the tail with him, right?
So now looking at this list, just at a glance, do you think it's a fair assessment compared to how the series went? Do you think we are unfair to a certain team, one of the two teams? And what are your big takeaways when you just look at this list? What are the three takeaways that you have?
Uh, One thing I really want to mention is how evenly the test matches were, how evenly
Mhm.
poised they were. I mean, at least the first four, that was really entertaining.
I don't
And
think the third one was right. The third one was
e-
where we won by 400 runs. But yeah, three of the five
oh
were
yeah,
very yeah.
I mean, again in the third one, England was still in the game in the second innings, and it was after that I think it just drifted apart completely. It was not one-sided throughout, but the fifth test was
Fair enough.
completely India in
Yeah,
all the sessions.
yeah.
So I mean, yeah, other biggest takeaway is how the youngsters have stepped in for both the teams. It not just India,
Yes.
right? And yeah, all of them, especially England, like Bashir or Rehan Ahmed or hardly any domestic experience as well to come to
Mhm.
India and to perform in such of a big, in such big stages. Really amazing. So yeah,
So
what
that's one.
else?
Yeah, youngsters,
And not to
for
forget,
sure.
the pitches were really good this time.
Yes.
They were not just dry tracks and spinning. Not all the tracks were spinning. It was evenly
They were not
again.
turning from day one,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So the pitches were also really good uh,
Mhm.
throughout the series.
Okay. And any
What are
other
your
takeaway?
takeaways? I think
My
yeah.
takeaways. My takeaway is the youngsters was a very good point. When you look at this list, sure at the top you have maybe Rohit, you have Jadeja there, you have Bumrah there, but by and large, a lot of people with multiple debutants at the top uh, from both countries and other young players who've now solidified their spot for the next for the foreseeable future. So definitely uh, second takeaway, Jaiswal. No, nothing else that I have to say, just that he's the one to watch out for. And what would be the other takeaway? The other takeaway is that basketball is entertaining.
Yeah.
It may not have won matches. It still keeps them more competitive than what they were pre-basketball. So I see some value there, but it's definitely very entertaining, right? Joe Root got out reverse scooping the ball early on in his innings, trying to reverse scoop the ball against Bumrah, and he got out at slip. Right?
Yep.
These things are just it's only basketball can make it possible. Um, what happened, bro? So much noise. Yeah, sorry. Um, yeah, I think those are my takeaways. And sorry, just one more thing to add. Rohit Sharma, the
It's gonna come. I'm expecting it. Yep.
yes, the it's great to see a captain who brings up the youth. He had a lot of players missing, right? A lot of top players missing. KL Rahul had his injuries. Uh, Shami was out. Obviously, Virat was out as well. And to win convincingly with this team, I think, yeah, I hope we win, ICC trophies as well, because yeah, after all this, if
Yeah,
we
it's
lose the
it's a
WTC
discussion for
again,
another day. We can just sit here
yes,
and talk about why India haven't been winning the trophies. And yeah, I think it would be a we can bring a lot more people to the panel and let's see we can discuss more on that.
yes,
But yeah,
yes.
for today, I think it was a good
Yes,
start.
this is the takeaway. This is the performance that you see. If you agree, disagree, let us know. Uh,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you for watching.
Yes. Thank you.